I've been playtesting the newest build for Crash Bandicoot on the Run, and I have some thoughts that I'd like to share with you. Let's talk about it.
Whoa!
What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with a brand new Crash Bandicoot video. Now normally we'd be talking about Spyro, Crash Bandicoot 4, or the history of Crash or Spyro. But today, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Crash game for all mobile phones and tablets, Crash Bandicoot on the Run. Now the game comes out in March 2021, but they opened up early playtesting for residents in Malaysia and Canada. And if you haven't seen the channel before or the name of it, I live in one of those two countries. Now, I've sat down and spent a lot of time with this game. Between waiting for videos to render, sitting in the car with the kids while they're screaming, while my wife is shopping during the pandemic, while, pooping, the usual places that you spend endless hours on your phone. And I feel that I've gotten a good grasp on the game. Essentially, Dr. Neo Cortex is bringing his own troops from multiple and different dimensions into one place. Coco has figured out that these villains don't belong here and devised sets of potions and concoctions that, when thrown at these enemies, sends them back to the dimension from whence they came. How this game actually works is actually really intriguing and seems simple on the surface, but has some depth. In order to send a boss back to the dimension from where they came, you have to defeat the enemies and their gang. This will be a combination of lab assistants, nitro ants, crabs, etc. In order to defeat them, however, you have to craft a minimum requirement of specific types of potions. Once those requirements are met with the potions, you run to your heart's content, hitting boxes, collecting Wumpa Fruit, and avoiding death. Kind of like, a regular Crash game, eh? But this is not an endless runner. There is an end and an objective to each run, and that is the minion that you prepared the potions for. Avoid their ways of, trying to kill you, throw the potions at them, and send them back to where they came from. Do a dance and, call it a day. Once you have defeated all the minions in the gang, you then get access and the opportunity to beat the boss. Once the boss is defeated, you move on to a new set of minions and a brand new boss to beat from a different dimension, each requiring more and new sets of potions to craft. The endless running aspect does come in when you need to craft potions. To make these potions, they need two things: ingredients and time. These ingredients can be found on collection runs, where the game becomes an endless runner with a purpose. Boxes of ingredients of things that you need are littered everywhere. Collect as much as you like and find an exit to get back to the base. These are the basics to Crash on the Run. Now, from what you can see with your own peepers, the game is actually really pretty. Crash's design specifically is a really good balance of the classic Crash, but with a twist from King. Crash almost has the Chuck Jones inspired animations from Crash 4, but also has what seems to be aspects of almost a fox. It's different enough to stand out on its own in terms of design, but doesn't stray or run away from what makes Crash, well, Crash. Now, Coco also looks good, but I feel like she is missing something in her hair. Insane Trilogy had a pink flower, and Crash 4 had a set of goggles. Adding some sort of a hair accessory I think would make this design pretty awesome. The game also runs well. No pun intended. This statement, of course, will vary depending on the device that you are using. Now, I tested this game on my Huawei P30 Pro. If you are running a tablet or something more powerful than that, you will likely yield better results. But the colors pop very nicely and matches the Crash Bandicoot tropical aesthetic. Another thing that I really like about the app is its approach to an old classic app idea. It's fundamentally the same, but adds enough to make it feel like it stands out from the others and keeps it fresh. Also, people might see this game and think, huh, well, it's like Temple Run or Subway Surfers. But if you think about this classic app idea, it concentrates all the basic maneuvers for Crash into a simplistic gameplay that you see now. Heck, you could even say that Crash started this running app concept all the way back in Crash Bandicoot 1. Remember Hog Wild? It's practically the same thing as the core concept of these endless running apps. It's also been rumored that the game that really started all of this, Temple Run, was heavily inspired by Crash Bandicoot. So it's kind of come full circle. Another thing that this app does is that it's actually really forgiving in terms of progress. One choking point in mobile games in general and in the entire industry is sometimes how the game punishes you for failing. If you fail a run in other games, you'll lose a massive amount of progress unless you sacrifice a large portion of your materials. Or maybe even run off of a life system where if you run out of lives, you either have to restart completely or pay money to maintain what you've collected. But in Crash on the Run, it's not like that at all. You can run a collection run, minion run, a boss run as many times as you like. As you run, you encounter checkpoints along the way, just like in the classic games. And if you die, you just respawn back at the checkpoint and you get to try again. It's simple. That's it. Nothing complicated or over the top. You don't even lose anything when you do it. This allows for much longer play sessions without having to take a break because of something minor and silly, which is a nice change of pace for a mobile game, especially in comparison to other companies and their predatory schemes in terms of microtransactions and waiting for things to get done in terms of time, which I'm going to let you know now, the microtransactions in Crash on the Run is some of the weirdest systems that I've seen ever set up in a mobile app. It's not predatory, it's just expensive for stuff that's kind of minor. It's really weird. So you know what? I think I'm going to save an entire video talking about that, because I think this is the most confusing and convoluted thing about this game, and I think it needs its own video. Also, whoever is the composer for this game, man, just give him a handshake and a raise. Every audio track has a beat and a bop that is comparable to a mainline Crash Bandicoot game. It's fun, it's poppy, and thoroughly enjoyable. I catch myself bopping my head up and down as I'm playing it, and it always makes me smile when I catch myself doing it. My favorite thing was when I got the third Aku Aku for the first time and hearing that new beat. It just, was absolutely awesome. Overall, my experience so far has been mostly positive. I also want to say that this is not the final build of the game, so there might be future changes before you guys get your hands on it in March 2021. But I think that King found a way to concentrate the overall Crash Bandicoot experience and was able to turn it into a simplistic form while also adding original spins to it that keeps it fresh and fun. However, again, I want to make a video talking about the monetization scheme because I think it needs another look. It's what makes the game strong and kind of weak at the same time, and it's just really awkward. That's why I'll be making a standalone video talking about it. But are you guys excited for this game? What is it that you would like me to talk about next about it? Comment below and let me know. Thank you so much to all those who not only support the channel, but myself and my family. Because of your contributions, I'm able to do this full time. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider clicking the join button or becoming a Patreon with the link in the description. I also live stream every Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on by and say hi. Again, thank you to everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video and or live stream.